Hey everyone. First of all, I don't know why the quality on my iPad is so bad. When the lighting's bad, it makes the quality really pixelated, and I don't know why. But there's no point in me getting anything expensive because number one, at this stage I wouldn't know what to get, but also I have 13 subscribers, so I don't know if it would be worthwhile. Also, can I say thank you to everyone who has subscribed, because usually on my Instagram, whenever I post, it's really humbling, I lose followers. So the fact that I actually gain followers on here astounds me, because I literally speak trash and I make no sense. On the subject of Instagram, I've put it onto public because I'm hoping that maybe if I put her on public, then maybe acting agents might see it. So those who have kindly subscribed to me, and even those who haven't, would you be able to go onto my Instagram once it's on public? So I want to see if I can gain any followers, and if it's beneficial for me to be on public, or if people don't really care. I mean, obviously, if you hate my posts, like, I'm not gonna pin you down, like, you must follow me, like, you don't need to. But sometimes my memes are funny, so you don't want to miss out on that. But I had so much to say, and now I've turned on the camera, and now I don't know what I'm gonna say. But tomorrow I have to get up at like 5 a.m. because basically. Also, before I carry on, like, even though I'm looking at the camera, it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera. Like, how am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do it so I'm not looking at the camera, but it looks like I am, or don't look at the camera? I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I'm looking directly into my iPad right now, and it literally looks like I'm going cross-eyed. But then I wouldn't really know where else to look. Anyway, I have to get up at 5 tomorrow because basically one of our assessments in like third year is to write a musical and then perform it, but we haven't had a lot of time, like, especially because like people have been ill or people haven't been able to come in, and then when we finally like had the chance to do it, there's been disruption because basically there's this thing called bounce, and they come in all the time, and they're really rude actually, but they come in, and they came in yesterday when we were supposed to do a run, but we need to do a full run because we have a lesson tomorrow and we need to tech it with the teacher because the assessment's next week. And thank Christ, I can't, like, that'll be another weight lifted off my shoulders. I literally can't wait for these 2 weeks to be over, because even though, like, over Easter I'll be writing my essay, like, the rest, like, I'll be finalising my dissertation, like, I will still have another 4,000 words to write because I haven't had any time at college because we're here like 8 hours a day. At least I know that I'll be home, because I'm sick of this building. Let's hope no one from college sees this. Also, something that I've kind of thought of like quite often, like in life, but especially like over these like few years, and like, yeah, for me, like, not everyone's going to be a cup of tea, but just because they're not your cup of tea doesn't mean that you don't like them or you think they're a bad person. Like, they're just not you or what you stand for. And for me, like, I'm quite like a nervous person, I'm quite a reserved person. Like, I don't really talk unless I feel like the person is like not a carbon copy of me, but like I know that they'll relate to me. Otherwise I feel like I'm gonna stop speaking because I'm embarrassing and I'm stupid and no one wants to hear my opinion. So it's like, or like, not even if you're different to me, because I've got friends who are like really different to me, but like, if your morals are different to me, or like some of your opinions are different to me, again, that doesn't mean that you're person you might be, but it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It's just you're not for me because our concepts don't align. Therefore, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with you just because you're not really the kind of person I need to like hone my circle in and like grow as a person. And does that make me a bad person that I don't want to hang out with people because then they don't align with me? Like, I'll happily talk to you, I'll happily strike up a conversation. But for me, as much as I hate being lonely, like, I've been lonely for like a lot of my life, and I'd rather be on my own than be with people who aren't like, not on the same path as me, because every person's on a different path, but like who don't align with me. And like I said, everyone has different opinions, beliefs, thoughts, and no one's going to be the same. Therefore, like, obviously my friends do have different thoughts and opinions to me, but it's like there are certain things where I'm like, they could like, oh god, I keep looking into the camera and realizing how atrocious I look, and then I can't finish my sentence because I forget where I am. Okay, now I've forgotten. And this is why I hate getting picked on in class, because the minute someone asks me a question, I can't remember anything. It happened in TAP yesterday. I got told off so badly and embarrassed in front of everyone. I'm like, no, when you ask me a question, especially in like an aggressive way, I can't answer you. Like, it all goes out the window. And then you think I'm not listening, you think I'm not trying. Like, no babe, my body can't respond to that. I'm also convinced I've got dyspraxia or something, because my sense of direction and memory and everything is just awful. Can I remember what I was saying before about aligning? Yeah, like, it could literally just be like the beliefs and the opinions don't even have to be big, but it could be like, there is a person that I know isn't very nice, as in, this is just hypothetically now, like, say there's a person that I know isn't very nice because of the way they've treated me and other people, but then they're like, oh, like, it's okay, like, that's just who they are. And I'm like, well, no, because you've also walked out of the room crying because how they've spoken to you. Like, you've also been upset with the way they've behaved before, and you're just saying, oh, that's the way they teach, or that's who they are as a person. And then it looks like I'm full of hatred, where I'm like, no, I don't like that person who's not being kind to you or kind to me, or they're being unkind to a lot of people. Like, that then makes me look like a really horrible person, because everyone else like begrudgingly deals with the other person, whereas I'm like, no. Like, when I say deal, like, I don't, like, I'm not a confrontational person. I hate confrontation. Like, I would never go up to them about it, because they would probably slap me across the face. But like, I make it known to the people around me that I'm like, I don't agree with this person. Like, I'm like, absolutely, like, I'm not crossing paths with them unless I need to. And then I feel like it makes me look like a horrible person or a weak person, because I'm like, I don't want to be involved with them. Like even like things like, say they're a teacher at college, whatever. I'm like, I don't want to email them. I'd rather email someone else, and they ask the question and get back to me. Or like, I say I don't like that specific teacher, and that teacher has treated everyone badly in some way or form. I might have got the brunt of it some days, but everyone has experienced it, and everyone has experienced multiple times of frustration with the teacher. Yet some people are like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, well, no, because you've also been upset several times, and that doesn't mean that they can't teach or that they don't have knowledge, but it's just the way they speak to people just isn't very nice, and that trumps all. Like, that, to me, like, being a good person is more important to me than your knowledge. But I don't know. Another thing on the topic, especially like teachers and stuff, I thought of this like years ago. But like the concept of like respect and names, like we're told that if you call a teacher by the first name, it's disrespect. But here's my thing, like I left school like 4 years ago or whatever, and I keep in touch with some of the teachers, and a lot of them are now like, oh, you can call me by my first name. But I have no less respect for them because I've left, or because I can call them by their first name. Like, yeah, we might see each other occasionally for a coffee, or they might like my Facebook post or whatever. But like, I still have the same amount of respect for them. Like, even if we're more informal, like the respect hasn't lessened. It's like at school, for example, like you'd have some teachers who had a doctorate, therefore they were doctor, blah blah blah, and then you just had the normal standard miss, blah blah blah. But to me, if you're saying that respect is valued by a name, then you're saying the person with the doctorate who's a doctor should be given more respect than the teacher who was just miss, because the title is bigger. Like, that's what you're teaching, and you're like, the system is teaching that the name is what you're respecting, you're not respecting the person. Whereas for me, if they were a doctorate, I would treat them, if they were a doctor, I would treat them the same as if they were miss. And if we were allowed to call them their first name, I'd treat them the same as if I'd call them miss or doctor. Whereas I feel like sometimes the way it's taught is we're taught to respect the job or the title rather than the person. Like, whether or not that person has had like got a degree or got qualifications, whatever, you usually respect that person because of them and their morals, not what they've achieved. And their achievements kind of might be a cherry on top, but like how much you might admire them, but you don't respect them any more or any less. Like, for example, for me, like, let's just say Princess Anne, because she's the first person that came to my mind. I would respect her the same as a teacher from school if I respected them, or I'd respect Anne or my teacher the same as I respect a friend. Like, to me, it's either respect or no respect. Like, to me, like, respect doesn't have levels. Like, if you're a good person, you should be respected. If you're not a good person, then respectfully, no respect is due. You know? But maybe that's just me. Also, I've been ranting for like 14 minutes, and I feel like I need to go because I'm still at college and I need to go home and eat. When, bless my soul, I have to be up at 5 tomorrow. Like, actually, wish me luck. And please don't forget about the Instagram thing, guys. I would really love it if I could gain a few followers. Again, thank you all for the people who watch. Thank you for the people who subscribe. And I would like, no, this is probably too much to ask. I was like, I'd love to feel a bit famous and like have a few comments, because like I've had 2 videos where I've had 1 comment, but I'd love to have like a few. And maybe I could get I know this is so sad, but if I could get like 20 likes or something on this, don't know. Anyway, hope you guys have a good evening. See you whenever.